All right, so here we go. So I'm just picking the brush that stands out to me and the color that stands out to me, and away we go. I noticed this recently when I was painting too. I don't know if it's the humidity or the heat or what, but sometimes the paints aren't behaving the way they usually do. So as I'm mixing, I notice I'm settling down a little bit and feel like I can have a more inner focus, which is my more familiar way of painting. I can see that the challenge of narrating and painting is going to be considerable, but should be interesting. And this is a moment where I'm really interested in this color and satisfied with the way it seems to interact with what's already on the page. And I notice I'm kind of searching lines out in my painting and adding this color to the edge. Like right now I'm just like interested in this movement and something about the sound and the rhythm of it, and then it feels like I've done it enough, and then I stop, or I'll see something like this that I'm interested in again, and then I'll think about where else it could go. Well, I notice I'm moving a lot slower in some respects and with a lot less awareness on my painting. So my attention is divided between talking and following myself, or following whatever I'm following with regard to the painting. Like I said earlier, I'm following tiny lines that are here that I can see, and something about laying more paint on top of them sometimes is very satisfying for me, because it kind of accentuates something that's very subtle in the paint. It also changes something because you sometimes lose some of that gradation. Like right in here, there's a lot of interesting changes in the color happening. And if I start going in and laying, black all around it, which is sometimes my impulse, then I get something, but it's very driven by the black. Now this is kind of an interesting little brush stroke I have right now with this little raggedy edge on it. I don't think I very much use that. It's kind of funny. There's like a period of time in the painting where I'm just putting down color, and then there's a period where I'm kind of responding to what's already down there and kind of intensifying it, or outlining it in some way, or repeating it, exaggerating it. Like now I'm going over this little element here that I was talking about earlier. I think for me the thing about the meta-communication, the narration of what I'm doing is, and it's tricky when there's someone watching, is that the meta-communication ideally is a way to intensify my concentration on what I'm doing, adding a channel. But because there's someone here also, there's a tendency to just explain what I'm doing, which is really different than becoming more deeply aware of what I'm doing. So let me see if I can focus on that for a minute and see if I can sink another level of awareness into myself. I don't know if I can, but I'll try. So I know I want some more black up here, but I have to think about it. I don't know exactly what that means. And then I closed my eyes and I kind of tried to feel something. Tried to feel what kind of blackness is it, or what is the black? What is it doing? Or so this is like a painter's edge. I'm pulled to do more black, and then I have another voice that's saying, no more black, enough black. I guess I think, like, if I completely ignore it and just throw black in, I might, just blast some black in here. I'm not sure if that would be, I'm just not sure how that would go. But now, just saying that makes me realize I can blast some black in here. Here goes. Well, I'm really satisfied with something about how it's going. I was just kind of absorbed in this color for a while. And just at that moment I started thinking about changing to another color. I really liked how these popped out with this little addition of this light blue. Like now they're animated for me. They're like alive, they're moving. And I'm also very interested in this pattern, which is something I don't do very much of, so I'm thinking about that. And then I started to feel this figure emerging out of here, like there's a almost like the spirit or something that's lifting out of this darker figure that's behind it, this blue. I still feel I need more black, so I'm thinking about that and where it will come, because also somehow this yellow is very important to this part of the painting. Like I'm experiencing this as like an opening, this space, and something is coming through it. And you have like a different kind of environment here, and then here, and then of course here. This has kind of my association to this is it has both like a fiery feeling to it, and also something like something alive, or this has more of a water kind of quality to me, underwater feel. These are very otherworldly for me. They're very, I don't know what to say about them exactly. They're kind of, well, let me see if I can try and see what those little figures are, what they're, who they are, what their essence is. So they're kind of like, they're in movement. They're like propelled up. They're both like it's both that they're like rising like a helium, but also they have a certain kind of propelled quality. And they're maybe they're like, they have the movement of a balloon that's also got helium in it, but a slow leak. So they have both qualities. They're lifting of their own accord, and they're also being pushed forward. That's like a kind of simple freedom. And I mean, they're black and white basically, but they look happy to me somehow. I guess what I'll probably end up doing tonight is I'll put this painting up in my room across from my bed, and I'll look at it tonight for a while, and I'll probably kind of feel something about it, is how I imagine it is. I kind of I'll get some distance from it because I'll be sitting back from it, and then I'll feel something in it, which is kind of interesting. I have a feeling it's already here in this moment, but so let me see if I can feel it right now. Let's see, hang on a second. I can feel something in my throat and my top of my chest, and it's interesting. It's like these figures. It's kind of a rising up. It's a kind of something emanating up or out, or that's what it feels like. Yeah, if I were to to really unfold that right now, I would say it really feels like a kind of channel or tube or something. With some kind of something flowing through it, flowing up and out of it. Then I have a little judgment that comes in that says, oh, that sounds very very New Age. But that's how it feels. It feels like something is moving up through here, going out, out. And if I just follow that outward direction, that whatever that is heading, it's just like well, it's like breathing without having to inhale. It's like everything going out. And going out infinitely, just moving out infinitely. So then I have to say that there's a part of me that's just moving out infinitely, that I'm not that aware of usually. And when I say that, I feel more this feeling of moving out more in my eyes and in my top of my head. That's all I can say. That must be what this painting is about. Something coming out.